Okay, hello everyone and welcome to the breakout room. My name is Talia and I will be facilitating today. Just a quick note, if you do have any questions, if you could just pop them in the chat box or send them to me directly, and we will have two presenters within this breakout room today. So let's get started. Our first speaker is Catherine Duncan from Matthews Steer. As the Chief Operating Officer, Catherine manages the firm's operations and resources, executing strategic direction and driving performance. With more than 25 years in management roles, Catherine also serves as a business coach and mentor to clients, providing them with tools and techniques they need to achieve success. So I'd like to welcome Catherine, and if we can pop up the slides for her, that would be fantastic.
Thank you, Talia. Thanks, Hilda, for the slides. I will just get myself set up here. So yeah, thank you, Talia. It's a pleasure to be here and really to share our Matthews Steer journey on how we've developed our business intelligence over our years in business. So a big thank you to Chris and to Talia and to James for putting on this event and inviting us at Matthews Steer to be part of such an important topic. I mean, all of us here today, we will have built our own business intelligence over many, many years and from lots of different resources. So if you think about maybe your own business intelligence right now in your business today, think about where that's coming from. And maybe have a think about how would you rate your intelligence today on a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being excellent. Where do you think your intelligence might sit today in today's world? Typically for us, our intelligence has been built really from trial and error, from what's worked well and what hasn't worked. And of course, there's always a large dose of gut instinct in there as well. So here at Matthews Steer, we've been operating for over 30 years. So originally our intelligence came from two people, our two founding partners, and that was Ken Matthews and Jeff Steer. And now our business has grown to a team of over 50 staff. And within that team, we're really fortunate because we've got a group of about 10 executives. And that's a large group who's really focused on building our intelligence every day, really from the work that they're doing, with projects, with our clients, the conferences, the webinars they attend, the media or social media, if you can believe what's in the media today. So, that's really where we're building our intelligence on from that group and from the rest of the team. But we're also connected to really great external networks, one of them being Northlink that we're with today, Melbourne North Food Group. We're part of businesses like the Entrepreneurs Organisation, the mid-tier accounting discussion groups. Our community is really extensive and deep, and that's simply because it's been built over many, many years, those networks and that community. And community is a big part of what we're about and how we build our intelligence. We have a purpose in our business that pulls our business together in everything that we do. And that is that we do empower our communities to live their potential. And, for us, our communities are our people, our staff, number one, our clients, and our external community like this one. And it's where we continually gain our intelligence. A recent example for me on tapping into that community for me is the mid-tier accounting group. That's about 10 accounting firms within the city. We meet probably every couple of months when we're not in COVID, but during COVID, that was invaluable to me because we look at, for example, intelligence around salaries, how are we paying people at different levels? Are we doing bonuses, et cetera, et cetera. But during COVID, we really leaned on each other in terms of what are we doing different? Are we doing more bonuses than salaries based on the unpredictability of what was happening? And we also really gave a lot of great examples of how to care for each other in our team during COVID. So, that was an example of great intelligence for me. And if we typically look at external benchmarks to get information, that can cost up to $10,000 if you're joining some of those benchmarking groups. So having that on your fingertips has been fantastic for us. In COVID and today, our world is definitely volatile and challenging. And And in that volatile world, focus becomes even more critical. It is challenging to know whether you're focused on the right areas. And we all know from experience that what works today will not necessarily work tomorrow. And our business at Matthews Steer has definitely over the years become more complex. And we've also become inefficient, over the years as well, without even realizing it. And that's something we're spending a lot of time in focusing on going forward. And part of that, we've got a massive amount of our intelligence sitting in our data. And, the question for us is, what exactly is our data telling us? And could it help us make better strategic decisions and easier decisions? If you look at the stats of like only 17% of organizations are effectively maximizing the value from the data that they hold, that means that over 80% of our data is wasted or going unused. For us, that's a really sobering thought and something that we're really focused on right now. Thanks, Hilda, if you can do the next slide for me. So, our firm belief at Matthews Steer is that we're sitting on an untapped asset in our business. And, that asset is a massive link to our intelligence. If you think about data, I guess a lot of people look at data and think, what's it actually giving us? You can have mountains of data, but what's it actually telling us? The main thing for us is data gives us facts rather than assumptions. And with the world changing so rapidly, assumptions become out of date really, really quickly. And, often for us, that's happened without us even realizing it, and we'll continue to do so. Being accountants, we love reporting, we love numbers and we love figures, and good accurate reporting is critical in any business, but analyzing the data will allow us to look at trends. So not only can we look back at trends, but we can also extrapolate trends forward, and that's going to give us a lens into our future. So we link that to our strategic planning, and that's a big part of our business, and we do a lot of strategic planning in our clients' businesses as well. And like most, we will update our plan annually. We'll always check in and look at it annually. However, every 3 years, we literally take a couple of months to do a really deep dive into high quality external research. We'll look at economic updates, industry reports, government legislation, technology, workforce, and many, many more, quality resources. And as we assess that research, we try and align that to our strategic intentions going forward for the next, 12 months to 3 years typically. But basically, we're using those facts to test our assumptions. The other thing for us is, and for every business, is time and resources are becoming more and more scarce commodities for all of us. For us in particular, in our industry, that's been an issue for many years, getting good resources. We've got a real lack of good resources and talent in our industry, and that's not changing anytime soon. So the other thing we're trying to tap into is artificial intelligence. We want to use that for the tasks that we've got, repetitive tasks, and use that to free up resources and hopefully give us more capacity in our business. So at the moment, as we're moving into the next strategic phase of our business, we're looking at ways to automate those core activities, and that will allow us to really leverage and scale the business and our resources. And I firmly believe that to have a viable business in the future, we'll all need to do a lot more with less, and that's another focus for us as we use data intelligence and data analytics and artificial intelligence. Next slide, please, Hilda. So just really looking at where your data literacy is, do you have data skills and capability in your business right now? I don't know about you, but our data analytics is like a whole new language to us and a new skill set that we simply don't have at Matthews Steer yet. And I say yet because I firmly believe that in the next few years, we will have data analytics specialists in our business. So for us, knowing our data, it will give us a much better intelligence. And, we appreciate that we've really got a wide gap in that area. So we decided we simply don't have the time to wait to get those skills in the next few years. So what we did was we partnered with Northlink's Data Analytics Hub in February this year. And we were assigned two great students, Mahek and Ashish, who became part of our business over a number of months, and they've been working with us to build dashboards. And the first phase of that is really looking at getting a better understanding of our clients and their needs. We've boldly called this project Project Quantum Leap. Our MD, Ken Matthews, he's really great at giving us inspiring titles for some of our projects. And this is really apt for us, because what Quantum Leap reminds us is how big a leap this could potentially be in our business if we could interpret our data, which we're not doing currently. So being in business for over 30 years, as I said, we've got a mountain of data. And if we can analyze that data, we can definitely make much better decisions, and we can focus that around our clients and their needs first and foremost. I don't know about you, but in the past, we've been really guilty of, looking at how we're operating and thinking, how do we streamline this? How do we become more efficient? And we build something that really works for us and makes life a whole lot easier. But sometimes we've failed to really understand how that change that we've made is impacting our clients. So becoming more client-centric will allow us to focus on whether we're adding value to our clients and really target our efforts there for our clients as well. So as I said, phase one of this is really going to help us segment our clients, understand who our more valuable clients are in the business as well, and target our efforts accordingly. We'll be able to look at, segmenting clients by, what they buy, how they buy, what industries they're in, and really target to their needs. And, for any business, we believe that that's really powerful facts that will help support our decisions and how we really tailor what we're doing with our clients. So once we analyze our data, next phase is really to automate our workflow, and that's around optimizing our resources. As I mentioned earlier, available resources is a massive challenge to our industry, and with our workflow daily, we set all that up for the year. It takes us a couple of months to put that together, but there's lots of moving parts in there, and if we could automate that and use artificial intelligence to do that, we'll be able to match our client needs to our available resources. Quite simply, that's going to be an absolute game changer for our business. So, it's interesting that by 2030, it's said that technology and AI will generate more revenue than human workers and will also surpass workers' salaries for our operating costs. That's quite a sobering thought. To think about that, and that's less than 9 years away, and we want to be ahead of the curve in that. We want to be working smarter, and we want to be able to back our strategic thinking and our business intelligence with really strong facts. So, in conclusion, this last slide has got a head and a heart on it, and that's really to remind me that we're in the people business. I like to imagine us to be able to spend more time focusing on building deeper relationships with our communities, and particularly our people and our clients, and empowering each other and bringing more heart into what we do every day. I think data analytics and AI will help us do that. And that's a world I definitely aspire to create. So for us, that's a game changer and something that we're really focused on today. So thank you for your time.
Thanks so much, Catherine. And it's just absolutely fantastic to kind of hear and learn from your journey at Matthews Steers. And I think you make a really good point in that using data analytics, but also having that heart and that human-centric focus. So I will open up to the chat. If anyone does have any questions, please feel free to pop them in the chat for Catherine. We have a few minutes to answer those. And while we're waiting for those to come through, I've had a few come through directly from me. First one here was, how did you decide what information to use when making your decisions?
Really for us, I guess, Talia, the thing was, as I said, I've been in the middle of the business and the operations. I was really focused on a big pain point that we had, which was workflow and our operations and workflow. And when we met and we met with Northlink and Carlo from Northlink, Ken was in those discussions and he said, that's all good and well, but we're a client-centric business. Let's look at who our clients are. And we shifted that completely, into let's look at our clients first so that we can make decisions around that and then shift to how we make things better. Because again, the other thing we'd do is we'd move to making our business better, but how is that helping our clients? So what we decided to do is really dive deep into the trends of our clients, you know, segmenting them into different areas and looking at what we have there. And that's what we're in the process of doing now before we get into that next level of optimizing our workflow.
That's a really good point. Thank you. Okay, got another one here. How long does it take to know if a membership or sponsorship is actually working?
That's a great question. It's something we do a lot of in our business. You know, we have a strong sales and marketing and business development group, which is really amongst our execs, and you know, they meet regularly as well. And you know, they're part of different groups like Melbourne North Food Group that, you know, link to Northlink, etc., and joining the Data Analytics Hub and lots of other groups. And what we do is we obviously align that to our strategic intentions and our strategic plan. And then it's a case of really first and foremost building those relationships. You know, you can look at returns and try to get quick wins from those groups, but you know, I guess our firm belief is that doesn't get any traction. It's about, you know, what is that group looking for? How do we help each other? You know, if it's a membership group, maybe how do we help them get more members? For example, how do we become part of that? How do we become part of sharing intelligence in that network? So, you know, first and foremost, and that can take a good 12 to 18 months, I reckon, to build that. And then it is looking at, okay, what is the returns that we're looking for, and obviously measuring them along the way. But I just think, you know, that, you know, to be cautious not to jump in to look for returns straight away, because it is about building the relationships and really understanding those networks together.
Yeah, sure. And it seems that you're in a really great position at the moment, because you are sort of being able to take that time to kind of
yeah, that's one thing COVID has given us, time to build good relationships, for sure.
Sure. Okay, I've got one last one coming in here from Elizabeth. If an organization wanted to start integrating data analytics, how would they begin?
Oh, that's a great question. For us, that was joining the Data Analytics Hub. You know, it's about, I guess you hear about it, I read a lot about it, I get a lot of feeds on it, and you know, for us it was very difficult where to start. So we just found, you know, aligning with a hub of people that are focused on that and can guide us, and really challenges on what is the biggest pain points in your business. So, you know, for us, we had to bring external people in to help us. Otherwise, you just look at your same old problems. It was about elevating those problems and really looking at what our needs were for the business. So, you know, that would be my recommendation. If you don't have the expertise, bring somebody in that does. And I guess the other thing is, you know, it is really ultimately focusing on your pain points and your clients or your customers.
Yeah, definitely. And it's so fantastic to hear that you had such a great experience with the Data Hub, and
yeah,
going to be quite strong as we move into the future as well.
Yeah, definitely. And we'll continue to work with them for sure.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Catherine.
Thank you.
We'll be moving on to our second speaker.